The black Democrats are paid off. They're not representing the people anymore. They're representing the people that's got the money, that's got the pocketbook, that's got the wallet, that's got the billions of dollars. They go in it for money. They come into our neighborhood and preach black power. They come into our churches and make promises, but they're not delivering on those promises. They're shaking hands with white supremacists behind closed doors who are part of the Democratic Party and Republican Party.
I can't refute anything that this dude said. I can't at all. And he's absolutely right. I know a lot of folks, watch my channel and they look at me and they say, hey, this dude's a sellout. This dude's a bootleg. This dude's, everything but a child of God. But what I will tell you is that one, I'm none of those things. I am a member of the kingdom. I am a child of God. But number two, I love this nation. I serve this country. This is the only country that I know for real. And there's no other place for us to go. And I am a firm believer that, hey, it really isn't about me. I've been blessed. I've been extremely fortunate to be born here, to be able to have the type of success that I've had here in this country. But this isn't about me. This is about my children. This is about my grandchildren. This is about my great-grandchildren. What type of nation are we leaving to those that will come after us? That's our real legacy. I know a lot of folks talk about generational wealth. What type of money? No, the real generational wealth in our country is we want to make sure that we leave a great America to our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren, our nieces, our nephews, our great-nieces, our great-nephews, so forth and so on. Hit that like button, share this video, subscribe to the channel. I'm about to show you who the real sellouts are. Check this out.
99.9% of the time, it is wrong for a white person to call a black person the N-word.
Sellout. These are the sellouts, and there's a plethora of them.
But we may have found the exception. In Minneapolis recently, a white anti-ICE protester was in a group of anti-ICE protesters yelling at a black ICE Gestapo agent.
Now, I want to say this. This isn't just one. There's a multitude. There's a plethora of these quote unquote liberals who just happen to be white Americans who are yelling at the top of their lungs, calling black ICE officers N-words. And they have some other disparaging words for those that are, happen to be, Hispanic. But yet this dude's covering and caping for these folks.
An unidentified white male called the black ICE agent a house N-word who's working for the KKK. That's right, we have a white man calling a black man the N-word. But this is a little bit different. White on black usage of the N-word is a very serious issue. But this is a curveball example.
It should never happen. And to be honest with you, I think the entire N-word, regardless of who you are, black, white, Hispanic, it doesn't matter. I think that word needs to be retired in the English language, especially in American lexicon. Let's retire it. I don't want to hear it anymore in movies. I don't want to hear it anymore in songs. That's it. Let's retire it. Because now you got people like this fool defending white liberals out there calling black ICE agents the N-word. And one of those dudes, yes, he called him the house N-word. But there's other videos out there of these liberals that are emboldened, I would assume, because of ignorant individuals like this guy over here, you know what I'm saying, to keep that type of rhetoric going.
Is it wrong for a white person to call a black ICE officer a house N-word?
Yes.
Let's explore. The white man who used the N-word in this situation was being historically precise. This black ICE agent, he is being a house N-word to the utmost degree. A black man in ICE is a modern house slave. He's a barely paid mule for white supremacy. The KKK were domestic terrorists. ICE is domestic terrorism. I think this is a valid usage of the N-word. He's not attacking his blackness per se. He's attacking his bootlicking choice to be in ICE while being a black man. Being black in ICE makes you a house N-word. So to call you that, it's almost like a professor pointing out, oh look, there's a modern house N-word. I think this usage is valid and acceptable. If it had just been the N-word, that would be problematic. But when he adds the house N-word, he's being historically realistic. So yes, it is okay to call black ICE agents house N-words.
This person and these type of people are despicable. Seriously, despicable. Now, they'll tell anybody that will listen that people on the right, MAGA, the people that are, that support the MAGA movement, whether you're black, white, Hispanic, Asian, doesn't matter. They will call you everything under the sun. This is a despicable individual. This is a despicable individual. Over here looking like Homie the Clown with these silly glasses on. And he has the nerve to get out there and say, hey, it's okay for white people to call anybody the N-word. These people have no shame. And at this point now, we can 100% say this ain't about race anymore. This is a right, left. This is a dark, light. This is those that believe and those that don't. We're split right down the middle at this point. Your race, your ethnicity, the amount of melanin you have does not make you my kind. This person I don't identify with. This person, we have nothing in common. Absolutely nothing. Just because we have this similar amount of melanin, this is not my brother. I have more in common, you know what I'm saying, with some of my white people, you know what I'm saying, my white brothers and sisters that watch this channel, that support what we're doing. I have more in common with you all than this idiot right here. This is ridiculous. And I want to see other black folks on social media go in on this idiot right here, because this is unacceptable. Seriously, no one should be called a derogatory term. There's no reason to call anyone a derogatory term. But for whatever reason, this dude's decided that he can justify allowing anybody, but he's okay with saying, hey, because these guys work for ICE, it's okay that you call these people the N-word. This is where we are. So at this point now, I don't want to hear anything about race anymore. This isn't about race. This is about ideology. This is about what you believe. This is about, do you believe in this nation or not? Do you care about the sovereign borders of this nation or you don't? Do you care that the people that aren't supposed to be here, that are illegal immigrants, they should get up out of our nation and go back to wherever it is that they came from? Or you don't? It's obvious that this dude supports the foolishness. This dude supports Agenda 2030. This dude supports this new world order that they would love to usher in. And I would assume, I don't know what he's worth or whatever, but this is one of those individuals that is obviously considered the boule elite. This dude right here can kick rocks. Seriously. Disgusting.
Tonight at midnight, the Department of Homeland Security is going to be shut down. And it's going to be shut down because Chuck Schumer and the Democrats want ICE to go back to what they were doing when Joe Biden was president, AKA nothing. They do not want any security of our border because with Homeland Security closed, border security is shut down. They don't even want FEMA to be able to respond to the freeze that happened to our farmers here in Florida because with DHS closed, FEMA is shut down. The Democrats are being radical. They are not putting the American people first once again. All they're concerned about is something to campaign on in the midterm elections. We're going to continue to fight against it. DHS needs to be funded. We need to make sure that we're securing the American people, that FEMA is operating so they can help our farmers in Florida and anybody else in the country that needs emergency assistance. Chuck Schumer and the Democrats, they need to get real. They need to stop playing politics. They need to put the people first. They need to work with President Trump so we can make America great. Tonight at
Democrats suck. Democrats suck. They would rather shut the country down. Their preference is to shut the nation down because they don't want to fund DHS, which ultimately funds ICE, because they are trying to do anything that they can to grasp hold of their new voter bloc. We need to call them out. I need everybody. You need to find out who your representative is, who your senator is, and y'all need to be emailing them like it's nobody's business to let them know we do not appreciate you guys not representing the will of the American people. We voted for this. We voted for this.
Hi, as a committed Democrat, I want the same changes that every other Democrat wants to make on ICE. But ICE already has $75 billion in funding from the big, beautiful bill that I did not vote for. So what it will impact is that we'll shut down important parts of DHS, whether that's FEMA, whether that's the Coast Guard, whether that is also about the CISA, the Cyber Security Agency in our nation. All of these are shut down. We want to find a way forward to produce those changes, but shutting the government down is the wrong way.
Yeah, Fetterman is probably the only sane Democrat senator right now. The rest of these fools are idiots. And if you see that they voted to shut the government down, you need to do everything that you can, either within this upcoming election, the midterm, we got to get them up out of here, or whenever their time is up, they got to go. Because they obviously aren't there to serve the will of the people. They're there to make sure that they maintain power. Simple as that.
Have you received any kind of explanation as to why former President Biden literally went against what former President Barack Obama did during his presidency? And the numbers show he actually deported more immigrants out of this country than Trump did. Yet Biden comes into office in 2020 and he went completely against what Obama had done. You ever received intel explanation as to why he did that?
You know, that's a great question. You're the first ones to ask me that question, right? Now, I surmise, I have an opinion that I think this administration thought these millions of people are going to be future Democratic voters. But one of the things Biden also did, in addition to destroying all the programs we put in place to give us the most secure border, he overturned the Trump census rule, which means millions of people they've released in sanctuary cities will be counted in the next census, which is going to result in what? More seats in House for the damned. So I truly believe they saw future political benefit from this. But you're exactly right. And I've said this. Why do I think he did it on purpose? Because Joe Biden was vice president under Barack Obama when he had those record removals. Alejandro Mayorkas was a deputy secretary under Obama when he had those removals. And we had families. We had thousands of families coming across the border every day. How did we stop it? We built family residential centers. We held them long enough to see a judge. 90% lost a case, 90%. So we put them in an airplane, sent them home, the border numbers tanked. So both those men knew how we solved that crisis. When they came back in, as now the secretary and the president, what did they do? The complete opposite. They didn't detain, they released. They didn't make them see a judge, and they weren't removing them. So they did the complete opposite of what they knew worked under President Obama.
Wow. Let me ask.
Well, what we know is this. We know that Joe Biden wasn't running the country. We know the underlings was running things. That we know. We literally had Weekend at Bernie's in office for 4 years. And there were some other people that were running, and some say, hey, Barack Obama was running things on the low. Let's just keep it a buck. But y'all know Tom Homan received an award from Barack Obama from the work that he did in deporting all these folks. Y'all know Barack Obama was the deporter-in-chief, deported well over 3 million folks, and he wanted to get more if he could have. Put those kids in chains, put them in cages, so forth and so on. And mainstream media got out there and tried to make it seem like it was Trump, but it was really Obama. These people are ridiculous, man. They are.
If you're a black person in the United States today and you are out there protesting on the front line to prevent ICE from doing their job of removing illegal immigrants from the country, the same people that you're forced to compete with in the job market, and you're out here defending so-called trans rights, which is basically the right to confuse your children and have them transition your sons into girls, your girls into boys, that predatory agenda. If you're out here barging into churches or saying that shit like that is cool, when you invade a house of worship, you are a traitor to your race.
Yep.
You're a traitor to this country. You're the real sellout. One thing that y'all like to do is you like to label black people who think for themselves as sellouts, traitors, Sambos, coons. When the truth is, you are setting a gauge of blackness based upon the willingness of black people to fall in line and obey white liberals.
Boom. Mic drop. He don't need to say anything else. He's absolutely right. And I said this at the beginning. The real sellouts of this nation are Democrats. It's the liberal party. And it doesn't matter what your race is. Black, white, Hispanic, Asian. If you are supporting a liberal agenda, you are the real sellouts. Y'all the real bootlicks. Y'all the real Sambos. Simple as that. I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. What are your thoughts? Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the notifications on to all so you never miss an upload. Consider joining the ARP family or buy your brother a coffee. That link's in the description box below. There's a cash out there as well. Shout out to Eric Plummer. Appreciate you, brother. Join us Tuesday and Friday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for ARP in the morning. Ask Celeste anything. Vote for the gutter bunny of the week. And as always, keep God first. Stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you all next time. Peace.
It is God who arms me with strength. Yeah, I'm battle ready. He trains my hands for battle. My heart stays steady. But thanks be to God, he gives us the victory. Through my Lord Jesus Christ, fear can't live in me. I was down to the dirt, red clay on my shoes, old pain in my shirt, oh so bruised. In the Lord hit my chest, kicked air from my breath, put power in my step.